The Smoothie King Center erupted as the New Orleans Pelicans took the court for their highly anticipated home opener. Zion Williamson wasted no time announcing his presence, throwing down a thunderous dunkhand, one that sent shockwaves through the arena. The powerful forward flexed his muscles, feeding off the energy of the roaring crowd. But celebrations came early. It's too early. On the opposite end, Victor Wembanyama had other plans. The towering Spurs phenomenon responded with characteristic grace, receiving a beautiful high post feed and delivering a no-look pass that found Stephen Castle spotting up beyond the arc. Swish. 3 points. The message was clear. This wouldn't be a one-man show. Castle's three-pointer signaled something crucial when he starts connecting from deep. His game elevates to another dimension. The young guard's confidence was palpable as he settled into his rhythm. Meanwhile, Williamson tried to impose his will with his signature move, the in-and-out dribble followed by an explosive drive. But tonight, he met an immovable force. Wembanyama's impossibly long arms rose up, swatting away Williamson's attempt with authority. Then again, 2 consecutive blocks that echoed through the building like drum beats. The Pelicans star, accustomed to dominating the paint, found himself neutralized by the French phenom's otherworldly defensive instincts. The Spurs operated under a different philosophy now, with Joe Mazzulla guiding the ship. Area 51 Wembanyama's nickname had officially landed in the French Quarter, and the basketball world was watching this generational talent showcase his defensive prowess on one of the game's most unstoppable offensive forces. The matchup everyone circled on their calendars was living up to its billing. Williamson versus Wembanyama, 2 unbelievable talents representing the future of basketball, squaring off in a heavyweight bout that had fans on the edge of their seats. When Williamson received the ball on the block, you could feel the tension mounting. He made his move, absorbed contact, and somehow finished through the traffic. That's what made him special, the ability to overpower and outskill defenders simultaneously. But this Pelicans squad showed up hungry. From the opening tip, their intensity was unmistakable. The Spurs held a slim 2-point advantage when Devin Vassell found Luke Kornet slashing toward the rim. Julian Champagnie delivered a perfectly timed pass, threading the needle past his defender. The one-on-one defense, ineffective against such crisp ball movement. Champagnie's defensive instincts kicked in moments later as he jumped a passing lane, snatching the steal and converting a smart two-handed finish.
Ow.
No unnecessary flash, just fundamental basketball executed with precision. The Spurs' offensive rhythm was clicking. Enter Jeremiah Fears, the explosive rookie from Oklahoma, making his professional debut. His first game showed exactly why scouts raved about his potential. Shifty, clever, and utterly fearless, Fears navigated through Pelicans defenders like a seasoned veteran. He elevated over Kornet with a creative finish that drew oohs and ahs from the crowd. Confidence? Had it in abundance? Dylan Harper answered back for New Orleans, gliding through the lane with effortless grace. The rookie made it look easy, showcasing the smooth skill set that made him a lottery pick. Back and forth they went tooth versus youth, talent versus talent. The Spurs' transition defense had been exceptional during their Dallas road trip, and they brought that same intensity to New Orleans. Vassell hung in the air impossibly long before Keldon Johnson crashed the glass for the putback. Johnson's relentless effort epitomized San Antonio's identity, diving for loose balls, pursuing rebounds, following teammates like Devin Mill all the way to the rim for second-chance opportunities. Jordan Poole showed his veteran savvy, hitting a crafty three-pointer off a defensive reset that caught the Spurs rotating. Then, again, Poole stayed hot from beyond the arc, punishing any defensive lapse. The second quarter began with Wembanyama still on the floor, and the French giant made his presence felt immediately. He spun away from his defender with balletic grace and finished with a soft touch. The crowd murmured appreciatively, watching him operate one-on-one against Zion Williamson felt like witnessing basketball evolution in real time. Wembanyama rose up and placed the ball right over the top of Williamson's outstretched hands. Williamson, never one to back down, tried going straight back at Wembanyama on the next possession. He gathered himself, summoned all his considerable strength, and attacked. Block. Wembanyama rejected him for the third time, this time with added emphasis. The defensive statement was complete. Championship teams need their best players locked in defensively, and Wembanyama was demonstrating exactly that principle. Vassell faked the three-pointer, driving instead and drawing help defenders out of position with clever ball fakes and screens. Saddiq Bey spotted up in the corner and drained the open three. The Spurs' offensive execution was surgical, exploiting every slight advantage the Pelicans' defense conceded. With 5 seconds on the shot clock, Jordan Hawkins attacked off the dribble but had nowhere to go. Wembanyama's length forced a difficult pass out to Trey Murphy III, who coolly knocked down his attempt. Murphy was getting too many clean looks, and the Pelicans were capitalizing. The home crowd sensed momentum shifting. Devin Mell broke up the Pelicans' scoring run with a timely three-pointer of his own. The Spurs desperately needed answers as New Orleans shooters caught fire, connecting on multiple three balls that trimmed San Antonio's lead to just 2 points. Vassell showcased his bag of trick spinning, pump faking, stepping through with his left hand for a crafty finish. His size advantage over Jordi Fernandez was evident, and he exploited it repeatedly. The young Spurs core was growing up before our eyes. Victor Wembanyama was leading a team destined to contend for championships for years to come. The high screen and roll action they ran hadn't been seen since their first exhibition game. Technical was called delay of game violation, the second of the night. Off the ensuing feed from Harper, Cornette finished around the rim. Then chaos erupted. KJ got the offensive rebound, put it back up, and converted while his jersey was clearly being held. Williamson grabbed the ball on the other end and flexed once more after finishing through contact for an and one. Harper attempted a crafty move that nearly fell, his effort on consecutive drives to the basket drawing praise despite the misses. Murphy threw down a thunderous dunk as the first half wound down, the 8-second differential between shot clock and game clock creating urgency. The second half began with the Spurs trailing by 1 before Wembanyama gave them the lead. Murphy continued his brilliant performance, scoring his 15th point on another smooth jumper. Castle and Wembanyama connected on an alley-oop that brought the crowd to life. That combination was becoming unstoppable. Wembanyama sent a shot off the backboard to himself, went behind his back and finished. How did he do that? Echoed throughout the building. New Orleans called timeout, clearly rattled. Saddiq Bey picked up his third foul, and suddenly Zion found himself wide open under the basket. "You've got to get that rebound," the announcers implored. The fourth quarter featured relentless action as both teams traded blows. Derek Queen showed nice touch on a spinning move, while Harper continued facilitating, finding Vassell in the shooter's pocket for another three. With the shot clock turned off, the teams pushed anyway. Hawkins threw down a dunk, Fears tied it with an acrobatic up-and under, and Murphy hit New Orleans' largest lead three-pointer. Williamson produced an amazing putback dunk. Wembanyama scored inside through contact, and Hawkins drilled a three that forced a Spurs timeout. Harper answered with a crucial three, then raced past the entire Pelicans team for a transition layup. The lead changed hands repeatedly. With seconds remaining, Castle hit a go-ahead three, Williamson tied it. Wembanyama's fadeaway for the win rimmed out. Overtime, in the extra period, Vassell hit a clutch three. When Wembanyama fouled out, the Spurs survived without their superstar, escaping the Smoothie King Center with a hard-fought victory. Final score: Spurs win in overtime.